好，各位球迷朋友们，大家好！3×3黄金联赛国际精英赛呢于上周末打响。那么经过3天的鏖战，16支世界级球队最终决出了命运冠军，也是我们来自塞尔维亚的利曼队。那么今天也很荣幸请到了我们利曼队的队长 Stefan Stojic 和我们整个他相当于利曼的教练 Milan Isakov。Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
你好。
All right, guys. First, congratulations for claiming the championship title of the Sina Elite League.
Thank you.
Perfect, and you guys, did a great job, winning all those tournaments and
Thanks.
defeating the world best teams. So, how do you think of, the performance you guys already made, and how do you think of the event? Maybe Stefan can, share some thoughts with us.
First of all, it was really great events, really competitive because there is a lot of international team and also the best domestic teams from China.
Right.
So we know that it's going to be a tough tournament. We are really happy that we won the tournament. From the beginning there was a lot of competitive games. At the end we came as the first team, so we are really happy and we hope that we are going to try to defend title next year.
Oh yeah, definitely. You guys are gonna crush the tournament next year. For the tournament, you guys, we saw that in the semifinals, especially when people playing hard, like in the getting that final last spots. Novi Sad, when they're playing with Inanomo from Russia, they're playing gruesomely. Everyone was so physical and they're playing so competitive, and the score was very tight as well. But when you guys playing with Inanomo, you guys crushed them. So share some thoughts with us. How do you guys get that the final result and having that huge advantage? Maybe Stefan, you want to share with us?
It's just happened because this 3x3 game is totally different than 5-on-5. It is much more physical by the rules.
Mm-hmm.
So usually a lot of players are playing much more physical than 5-on-5. So people are still not adapted to that because it's new sport, it's young sport, and it's just on its beginning. But to say about the semifinal and the final game, Novi Sad against Moscow, Moscow played a tremendous good game. It was tight game till the end. At the end, maybe even they had a little luck and they won. In finals, the coach said us everything what we should do, and we really played really good game. Moscow maybe play not good game as they play usually, and then it was huge difference. We didn't expect that we are going to beat them so much, but at the end it happens like that.
Right, especially we can tell, for Inanomo from Moscow, they basically drain off their energy a lot, when they play against Novi Sad. So as we can see, 3-on-3 basketball tournaments such a physical and competitive event. So compare with 5-on-5, do you think what's the differences between 3-on-3 basketball and 5-on-5 basketball? Maybe Coach Milan can share with us.
Well, yeah, it's kind of, in my opinion, completely different.
Okay.
Because first of all, in 5-on-5 you have one game that lasts for 2 hours. And you need one kind of energy resource. And in 3x3, especially in a tournament, you have game after game. So you spend a lot of energy, and then in 1 hour, 2 hours,
right,
you need to do it once again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's completely different, and
right,
the physicality, it's on a completely higher level, because very rarely in 3x3 game you're moving without touching or pushing, right, or pulling someone.
Yeah.
So it's completely different. In basketball, you have a long court and you can run without being touched or having to push someone. So
right,
it's completely different energy
right,
demands. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And compare with the normal games in a world tour, for the 3-on-3 basketball tournament. Regarding the officiating and the referee, standards, is it very different? Do they allow more fouls? More physical? What do you think the general?
In my opinion, it's better maybe that Stefan speaks about it because he's directly part of it. Yeah.
Right.
As I said, this sport is more physical than 5-on-5.
Right.
So, by the rules, it's more physical. You are allowed to touch the player with the hand, to hold him in some points, and you can't make advantage with that, but you can hold him in a draw situation.
Right.
And to be honest, on this tournament, the referees, yes, they made the mistakes, maybe even a little bit more than on FIBA World Tour. But to be honest about the criteria of the foul, it's similar. It's not something that makes a huge difference, or that the referees here are doing the one criteria and the referees on the World Tour are doing the other criteria. Sometimes on a World Tour, it's changing by the games. So one time the criteria is like this, and the second game is different. It's also depending who is playing against who. So referees need to make a good match. So they need to let players to play the way how they're playing, but if they see that one team is going much more physical than the others, then they need to adapt the situation.
Yeah.
So,
if I can just say, so they like lack experience because I guess they never refereed a game of that kind of physical level.
Right.
That's like the only difference because probably, I mean, I used to be a referee also on a national level in Serbia, and I know that when you advance to a next level of competition, physicality changes. And you have to adapt.
Right.
You cannot do it just by overnight. So it's just experience. I don't
Right.
think. I think they're good. They just lack experience.
And especially, when we held this, tournaments, this international level tournament, we would definitely want to promote and, elevate the standard and the overall criteria of the officiating. But next year, yeah, we're going to be better. Right. As we know that you guys are the FIBA World Ranking #2 teams in the world right now, but after this game, are you guys going to be the #1, competing with Novi Sad? You're going to be taking them down and taking the crown of FIBA rankings?
Whole this year we was competing for the first place. It was like switching through the year all the time. Now this tournament is not going to involve points for both teams because when you are looking ranking points for individual player, you're looking best 9 tournaments,
Right.
and the private tournaments are not so big in ranking points like a FIBA World Tour. So, but from the January, there's going to be slightly changes in rules in ranking points. So Liman is going to be the first team from January.
Wow.
So till the beginning of the season, and we hope that we are going to stay for a whole next year. So
Look at that.
So we will see. But from the January, we are going to be first. They're going to be second. But to be honest, even now and after the changes, it's going to be a really small difference. So it's like you have first 2 teams. It's just depending on few points, which
Right.
is nothing.
Gotcha. All right, I'll give you congratulations to in advance to your team to advancing to reclaim the crown of the world best team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. As far as the overall development of 3-on-3 basketball, especially in Europe, we know that for the strong basketball countries like Serbia and Slovenia, tell us share some thoughts. What's kind of the current status and situation of the 3-on-3 basketball tournament in Europe? Maybe Stefan, you want to share with us?
I think that 3x3 is growing rapidly. It's in the whole world, also in Europe. In Europe, everything starts. FIBA is the strongest in Europe, so everything starts from Europe. And yes, countries on the Balkan like Slovenia, Serbia, they start first to play. Serbia especially, we are like basketball country. Everybody in our country is playing basketball. So we came to the top at the beginning, and I think we made the first step for a whole sport to be big, But I think that 3x3 is growing extremely in whole Europe and I think in whole world, especially now when it became Olympic sport. So now in next year it's going to be qualifying year for the Olympics. So I think this year was tremendous growth if you're comparing with the other years. But next year is going to be tremendous because everybody wants to have a chance to try to go to the Olympics on the first event of the Olympics in Tokyo 2020. So I think this sport is going to make a boom, especially after the Olympics. I think it's going to have a huge growth because it's modern, In these times, people don't have a lot of time to watch the game, and this game is like 15 minutes, really physical, really aggressive, no stop time, no time without action. So I think this sport can be really good in future. It's growing for sure exponentially.
It's on the way there, all the way aiming to the 2020 Tokyo Olympic. All right. Why don't you just share some stories regarding Liman team and the history of it, and when did you guys found it, and just would like to know the overall history of the Liman team.
Overall history about our team is that we start as a university team. We was first name of Team Liman was University of Technical Science from Novi Sad, because Liman and Novi Sad are just, Liman is just part of Novi Sad, so
like a district.
Like a district in a Novi Sad. So we was first name of our team was University of Technical Science because we came from there. We were students on that university, me and Radko. And then that was 2016. In 2017, we decided to be professional team. Let's start. So this is our second professional season. We played that 2017. We got the award for a best growing team in the world. We became from zero third team in the world in that year, and I was pronounced for MVP of the whole season because we started from nothing and then came to the 3rd place in the world.
Wow.
After that, you know, we see that some points are not, we can improve a lot. So we talk with the coach. He was my friend before, and we talk with him, and we say, okay, in 2018 we want to be much more professional, and then we put a coach. So we are like a first team that became fully professional to have a professional coach in a team. So we made also huge impact in 2018. We made like unbelievable success with qualifying to 8 master tournaments, and then, you know, whole year was competing with Novi Sad on those world tours. At the end, you know, we are really lucky, but I must say that we are first team with the coach, and that's what makes us like the first professional team, and the whole improvement. And I think this 3x3 is going in that way to become really tactical. You know, you can see a lot of physical things, but there is a lot of tactics, a lot of things that you can learn also from
little
experience.
details. Yeah.
I'm gonna share
Little
that
details.
later.
So that's a story about the Liman. You know, we started as a university team, and now we became like fully professional team for 3x3. You know, aiming for the Olympics.
That's awesome. What a rapid change. So it seems like you give a lot of credits, you know, to your coach, and it seems like coach has been a very crucial part of your team. So why don't you know, Coach Emil can share some thoughts with us. How do you guys train? You know, especially tactics or physical or any kind of working regime you can share with us.
Well, it kind of depends on the part of the season. Of course, the pre-season period in 3x3 is very important because unlike basketball, it's kind of long, and you have to prepare to make, you know, very good base for the whole season. Because when the season starts, it's like week after week, weekend after weekend, with traveling and everything.
Right.
No time to improve there, so it's kind of just, you know, rest, recovery, and well, we have some like tactic strategy, and it's not really about that, you know, about the coach. It's always about the players, because the coach can be the smartest guy in the world, but if the players are not at least that smart or be able to play it that way, it's about them. And I'm very lucky to have like 4 guys. He spoke about the university, but so I'm the only coach in the world that has a full roster of university degrees.
Wow,
Yeah,
look
so
at that.
I'm very proud of the guys. So about the training and everything, we're training very specific. So very sport specific, because the best way to train anything, any sports, is sport specific. No weights can replace the game. No, you know, running around without the ball can replace it. But, you know, we have some weight training because it's very physical sport. We have a lot of sport specific shooting, game specific shooting. We have a lot of sparring, not just 3-on-3. We play a lot of 2 against 2, because in our vision that we have in our game, we do not see the game of 3x3 as 3x3. We see it as 2 against 2 plus 1 against 1. So that's a little secret.
Right.
But I'm giving you guys the little secrets. Okay. So whenever you look at the game, you can see those kind of details. So that's how we do it.
Okay. And how often you guys train, like, you know, per week?
How many times?
How often? Like, you know, like 3 times per week or
no,
every day?
We train most of the time every day.
Okay.
But it depends. If they're traveling, you know, like from, for example, now from China to Serbia, and next week they have to go to play the tournament. Like, so I give them maybe 1-2 days rest. Depends. Okay. So we have some, you know, equipment that measures the strain level and everything. So we do the stuff according to that.
Gotcha.
So my major is strength and conditioning also. So
okay.
And we also have a very good coach, Darko Krsman, that does the weightlifting job with them. So
all geared out. Look at you guys.
Yeah.
All right. So regarding your working out regimes, right? We're like curious, and you guys have been doing a lot of weight training. We're doing a lot of, you know, basketball dribblings. You know, what kind of drills you guys use?
Well, for the weight training, fitness training, they do a lot of body weight exercises also to, you know, awaken the every part of their body, and they also do a heavy weight training also. So
like how heavy? Like, you know, what's the maximum bench press record for you guys?
Yeah, 140.
140?
Yeah.
Wow,
you know, it was during I was professional 5-on-5 player. You know, right now I'm not so strong. I'm like weakening a little bit. But you know, I'm good in a gym, so.
No, he's a strong guy in pushing. Yeah,
right.
Strong guy in pushing.
Very impressive. 140 kilograms.
No, it was. Now it's maybe 200, 100.
200.
130 the max.
But
the
if
max.
he's angry, maybe
All right,
140.
all
yeah.
right. Especially, okay.
And about the basket specific training, so I'm not a big fan of, you know, just static ball handling drills.
Okay.
I like everything. I like to train. The guys also like to train the way they're supposed to do it on the court, or even harder.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not like into. They're already very good technically, so we just do some detail work, and it's mostly with physical contact and everything. And the shooting is also mostly on a high heart rate when they're tired and everything. So we try to make almost every kind of details game specific to make it hard. Just when you're working on a technique, they should be like rested, you know.
Very systematic. All right. As far as we know, you know, our captain of Liman is also called Mr. Robot, right? And you own the degree of, you know, the law, and also own the degree of finance. As we also know that you are, you know, the electrical engineer for your own faculty major. I think, you know, tell us, you know, your stories and how you're gonna balance it out of your professional life of through basketball versus, you know, being a faculty member.
You know, there is a huge story about that, and I think that the story is even translated on a Weibo.
Okay.
On my account.
Okay.
So there, if somebody wants to read like whole story, maybe he
We're
can
gonna
read on
repost that for
Chinese.
sure.
But the story is that yes, I was a professional 5-on-5 player. I played 5-on-5. Also, I was a captain of national team under 20 for 5-on-5. We won 2 times European Championship in 5-on-5, 1 time World Championship in 5-on-5.
Wow.
But then, accidentally, you know, something's changed in my life, and I decided to go to science.
Okay.
And they gave me the name Mr. Robot. That's my
Right.
nickname in FIBA, because I'm engineer of electrical engineering. And then on the last year of our university, we have competition in autonomous robots, making small autonomous robots that are competing against each other. And I won national competition in robotics. And also I was like a teaching assistant for industrial robotics at my university. And that's how we start to play. Like from that university, everything starts.
People wouldn't call you nerdy student, right? Back then.
Yeah, a little bit, you know. But at the end, you know, with everything, this became Olympic. Especially this year in 2019, I decided to quit my job. Not to quit like whole. I would probably do my job in the future and everything with the electrical engineering. But I decided, okay, now I have a chance to try to go to the Olympics. So I'm going to put all my effort into this. And so right now I'm just professional 3x3 player, not 5-on-5, not anything else, just 3x3. So that's the point of our team, that we decided. We also, all of us have different careers, and maybe some players are playing 5-on-5, some players doing some other things, but we decided all together that now we want to give 100% of us into 3x3 to try to go to the Olympics. So that's the main goal, and also the goal is in 2019 to become top-ranked team in the world. We will become in January, but we need to hold that position. So that's us little small dreams and small goals.
Yeah.
So that's short-term of my story. So if somebody wants to read it, yeah, it's long, and there is a lot of things in mind that happen. So
All right, you guys hear that, all right? You guys hear that. You guys hear Mr. Robot sharing his stories on Weibo. Definitely look at that. You know, as you guys were sharing, on the way to Olympic, that's kind of the journey you are trying to, you know, you guys are very, 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 you know, committed to the Olympic. You know, you're gonna get there and be you're gonna get the champion of the 3-on-3 basketball for the Olympic as well. So what about, you know, the career after the 2020 Olympic? You know, what kind of a career path you wanted to navigate later on?
you know, that's a little bit hard question, because I'm not looking so much in the future. Maybe I will continue to play. Maybe I will try to go to do a little coaching in 3x3. Maybe I will try to make this sport bigger in the whole world. You know, maybe I will go to robotic things. You know, but still now the focus is on Olympic circuit. So I will try to go to the Olympics. You know, this year our national team of Serbia, we are selected from 2 teams. There is a guys from Liman, from Novi Sad, so we are putting like together to play for a national team. We won this year World Cup in Philippines, in Manila. So the goal is to try to go to the Olympics, and then we will see our federation how they are going to make the team.
Okay.
So it's a little bit tricky question about the Olympics, but after the Olympics I'm not sure. Maybe I will continue, maybe I will be a coach, maybe I will play for next 10 years, maybe I'm going to do my PhD studies. So I don't have like exact road after the Olympics.
Too many options to
China is
choose.
very good in science.
Yeah,
yeah.
China.
Too many options to choose. So regarding Olympic Games, if you in your team, your whole crew member right now who play in the Sina Elite League this year, if you just team up them, in the Olympic level, how much, what kind of rankings, what kind of position, what kind of, they will be get the champion with this current team lineup.
But Serbia is really great in this sport. So we have two top teams in the world, all FIBA World Tour Masters, so series of 9 best tournaments in the world. Everything was won by Liman or Novi Sad. So those teams won everything this year. So everybody is expecting that Serbian teams or Serbian players or Serbian team that is mixed will be the biggest favorite to win the competition. So, Olympics are going to be a different story. It's just 8 teams, really hard, really competitive. Everybody wants that title. Everybody wants a medal. So it's going to be hard. But, everybody's putting Serbia as the first team that can do that. Wow. So, I think that if any team from Serbia goes to the Olympics, we have a chance to win the medal for sure, maybe even a gold medal.
So you guys are still kind of competing with Novi Sad for that ranking, right? Well, just tell us the stories regarding Novi Sad. You guys have been rivals. You guys been getting along well. You guys are friends. I just want to know that.
They are playing this. They started this sport. We really respect them. They are much older than us. They are older team than us. They started to play this like 8-9 years ago. They are playing since then. They are the biggest stars maybe in this sport, most recognized persons, because they're playing for so long. They are always in the top. And yes, we are competing. We are just 2 teams, 2 best teams in the world, the far 2 best teams in the world right now, that are playing in the same city, maybe even in the same neighborhood.
It's gonna be a lot of tension.
So we are even, streets near the street in the same city. So it's really, really competitive.
Right.
We respect each other. We are not like 100% friends. We are friends, hanging out sometimes when we
not
have.
Friends on the court.
But not friends of the court for sure.
Oh yeah.
And the story is maybe even because of that, both teams are getting better because we are always competing with the best, and that best is near us. So we are always looking each other. So I think that's the story also about the basketball. But Serbia as a country is a basketball country, and everybody is playing basketball. So we have only 7 million people, but all the kids are playing basketball, and they're playing exactly 3x3, not 5-on-5 on the street. So 3x3 is even more natural sport for us because literally everybody is playing on one basket. We are not usually playing on the streets when we don't have official game. We are usually playing on one basket. So that's the interesting thing for Serbia. So yes.
Sweet. Thanks for sharing with us. Regarding this event, apparently this is the first edition of Sina Elite League held in this year in China. Just give us thoughts, in terms of how do you think of this event, any, progress we can make, any suggestions you will give to us. Just wanted to hear and learn from your world-class team thoughts.
In my opinion, this was a great event. For sure, the best private event that I ever been on. Sure. Also, even if you're comparing with the World Tour, there is maybe they have a little advantage in experience, but whole circuit and everything around was really, really professional, and I really like the event.
Thank you.
So, I know that this event is going to improve. This was the first year without experience doing some international things. So, for sure, it's going to be bigger and bigger. And also, I think whole sport is going to be bigger and bigger. And as I know, I'm not included into that, but what Sina is doing, whole circuit of the tournaments, it's the biggest circuit in the world. Okay, it's not hard to be biggest if you are in the China. So, but also it's really good thing for the sport. And I think it's a great thing to have that kind of elite gold league and then elite tournaments, Sina elite tournament. So that kind of going to the international level. And then the great point for China is that they can compete with the international teams, and then they can see where they are. So that's the really
we're building the pyramid. We're trying to be better next year. Next year, when you guys come here to play, we'll provide a better event for you guys, better tournament.
Thanks.
One final question, and one final request. Maybe you can, as a world top players in the world, we just wanted to know any suggestions you would kind of give to the Asian players, as especially a lot of Asian players, especially a lot of Asian teams that didn't even make the semifinals for the Sina Elite League this year. So what kind of thoughts and suggestions you would give to them?
You know, me as a player, maybe coach will say better things because he's looking from the outside.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Well, main advice in my opinion would be to get as much experience. Your guys are lacking experience against playing the top teams. So it's hard to play with the top teams because they're playing the World Tour, right? Mm-hmm. But you know, try to play as hard as you can every tournament to go to the at least satellites or challenger events, you know, and to compete on that level, because it's kind of different when you're playing just outside your, you know, in the backyard, and when you're at the tournament. So it's different, mentality and everything. It's physical. That's one advice. In my opinion, main advice, like individually for a player, would be learn to shoot as best as you can off the dribble and without the dribble, because shot beyond the arc is twice as worth as the shot inside. Yeah, that's the very important thing. And you know, whoever wants to specialize in 3x3, work your one-on-one defense and include your hands in the defense. It's very important. It differs from the 5-on-5 basketball. That would be like for the players and for your organization and everything. I think it's very important. It's a great project, really, and we're happy that you invited us to be a part of this. Maybe if you want to raise this sport to a higher level, I'm thinking about, you know, worldwide, what do people do? Maybe make some coaching clinics, maybe make some refereeing clinics during the tournament or something like that, because whatever I wanted to learn in life, I tried my best to contact the people who do it the best, and you know, ask them, what do you do and how do you see? And then I think about it my way. That's how we both think. I mean, you know, so that would be like advice for the maybe organization, everything, and you know, federation.
Right. You know, my thing is just about the coaching, because you know, by the rules, coaching is not allowed during the game, but everybody is not thinking about that rule. I think that coaching is also not allowed in tennis, for example, and every player has a coach. So I think that they need to make all the countries need to make difference between 5-on-5 and 3x3, because coach from 5-on-5, he don't know about 3x3 and different. So you need to make professional coaches for 3x3, some people who are going to get into the game, so to watch the game, not the players, so the guys who are going to look the game from outside. So I think that's the crucial point for whole world to put coaches and to make coaches more important, because you know, player on the court can't see everything. You know, I have experienced a lot of playing 5-on-5 and 3x3, but usually I don't see a lot of things that coach can see from the outside. So somebody who is looking that, it's really, really important. So I think that's the crucial point for whole world to become bigger. You know, every country, every single, because till now, you know, by the rule they say coaching is not allowed. Everybody's thinking, oh, we don't need a coach. But I think
off the court, yeah, we definitely
off the court for sure you need.
We definitely need. All right.
But also for the players.
Okay.
It's important that you have an attitude, that you're very conscious and self-aware. So if you have a coach, you should, you know, allow yourself to listen, because I know they're very great guys and they accept what I tell them, and we exchange opinions. You know, it's very hard. I used to work with different kind of athletes. It's very hard if they're like, okay, you tell me, but I know what I'm doing. So it's very important, like everything in life, to be open-minded. So that's advice for the players.
Have that chemistry, have that alignment between coach and the players.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much, guys, and congratulations to winning this championship title, claiming the first championship title of the Sina Elite League this year. Congrats again.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for inviting us, and we're very happy.
Thank you.